Hi, I'm David Swanson, co-founder and executive director of World Beyond War, and the author of, among other books, The Monroe Doctrine at 200 and What to Replace It With, which is also the name of an upcoming online 6-week course with 6 facilitators, of whom I will be one. If we want to understand why the United States has military bases encircling the globe and never fewer than a half dozen wars going, or how imperialism came to be disguised as its opposite, or how distant wars acquired the label defensive, or where the whole phenomenon of doctrines, including the Obama doctrine, the Trump doctrine, and the Biden doctrine, comes from, it helps to go to the source. 200 years ago, this December 2nd, a local boy from my town gave a speech. In the years that followed, pundits and politicians took an excerpt of that speech, carved it in marble, lit it with eternal white phosphorus bombs, and prayed to it before every shareholders' meeting. They named it the Monroe Doctrine. It created a model, used ever more frequently up to this day, of picking out the worst thing a U.S. president has said, or rather the thing most similar to the Monroe Doctrine, and declaring it to be their doctrine. There is nothing in U.S. law about the presidential power to create doctrines, much less the power of newspaper columnists to do so. But here we are, with a pile of them, having created a supreme law framed around violence and lawlessness. Over the centuries, the Monroe Doctrine has been used to carve out exceptions to treaties that the United States was pretending to join. Eventually, the exceptions became the rule. The people who first developed the Monroe Doctrine justified imperialism to themselves with the following ideas. 1. We're opposing European imperialism, so we can't be doing imperialism. 2. Anybody who had the chance would want to be part of the United States, so we're not forcing anything on anyone. 3. These people are subhuman animals or ignorant heathen who don't know that they want to be part of the United States, so we have to show them. 4. What people? These lands are basically empty. Nowadays, NATO members and partners add a few variations to that list of excuses, but much remains constant. The creation of the Monroe Doctrine involved keeping Russia out of North America. The most significant use of the Monroe Doctrine has been in the U.S. expansion across North America, but the doctrine easily expanded to the globe. Hostility to Russia developed almost unbroken for 200 years. And the recent history of U.S.-Russian relations can be understood in part as involving a Russian claim to its own Monroe Doctrine and U.S. insistence that there can be only one. In fact, if we want to survive, there are going to have to be none. There's going to have to be something wiser and more sustainable instead. I hope to see you in our course.